From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 530 News.
A Magic City favorite, Burn the Point, set to get underway tonight. We pay tribute to a man who played a big role in keeping the tradition alive.
I'm Brandon Warren, and coming up, we're going to talk about Billings Met Transit's newest addition.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us on your Friday. I'm Jeanelle Slade. Those stories ahead, but first, your top headlines. A 31-year-old Billings man is dead as a 19-year-old Billings driver faces uncertainty after a hit-and-run crash on the Billings West End. Dorian Kevin Ogden died at the scene. It happened just before 9 o'clock Thursday night at the intersection of Central Avenue and Santa Fe Drive. Police say the 19-year-old man was headed west in a 2013 Ford F-150 when the truck struck Ogden, who was walking across the street. Yellowstone County Coroner Rich Hoffman says Ogden died of multiple blunt force injuries. The driver left the scene but was located shortly after that incident. Now, the driver has not yet been named. Captain Neil Lawrence tells me after consulting with the county attorney's office that 19-year-old was released pending toxicology reports and further investigation. In other news across the state, crews in Glacier National Park are narrowing their search for a missing woman around Logan Pass. They're searching for Jennifer Coleman, who was last seen August 30th or 31st. She has blonde hair and blue eyes. Flathead Search and Rescue, along with 2 Bear Air, kept up search efforts Friday. Rangers originally found her car in the Logan Pass parking lot. Also today, a Montana man enters a guilty plea for his actions during the January 6 riots at the U.S. Capitol. Boyd Allen Camper from the Missoula area signed a plea agreement. He admits to parading, demonstrating, or picketing inside Capitol buildings. A criminal complaint filed in U.S. District Court states Camper was seen in an interview with CBS News saying he was at the front of the line and calling it an insurrection act. He faces up to 6 months in jail and a $5,000 fine. Camper has already agreed to pay $500 in restitution for damages caused to the Capitol that day. And the FAA is now proposing a nearly $340,000 civil penalty against a Montana aviation company for conducting illegal charter flights. Slice of the 406 is based out of Helena. The Federal Aviation Administration alleges between July 2017 and November of 2018, the company, along with 82 and Sunny LLC from Minnesota, conducted 26 paid passenger flights without the required certificates. The administration also claims the flights were conducted with pilots who lacked training, testing, and competency checks. And the flights reportedly involved a Cessna Citation plane, the same make and model registered to Slice of the 406 that crashed in Fargo, North Dakota during that time. And we're now joined by Chief Meteorologist Ed McIntosh. Ed, from triple-digit heat to now finally some rain. It's been a crazy summer.
It really has been. Let's take a look at some of the summertime statistics since we're now getting to Labor Day, the unofficial end of summer. How about the average temperatures that were, for the most part, running between 4 and 4.5 degrees warmer than average across the region? And check out those hot temperatures. We didn't hit the 1-teens, but we certainly came close in several places. And figure there's 92 days from June through August, and 51 of those were above 90 degrees in Billings, 55 degrees for Miles City. And the statistic I like the most, for August, we had 2.44 inches of rain, more than May, June, and July combined in Billings. Back with a look at the weekend forecast.
Countless hours of reading, researching, volunteering has led to this special moment for 30 WWAMI medical students.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
I got the call as I was walking out of work at St. Peter's in Helena.
And I told all my patients that, I maybe have to step out for a phone call.
And they were like, we just wanted to say that you did a great job and we wanted to welcome you into the Montana WWAMI family and congratulate you. And
to be honest, I started crying, like absolute tears of joy. It was just an amazing feeling.
And today, all of those students and their families gathered at Montana State University for one of the most special moments in a medical student's life.
We want them to look the part and feel like they are becoming a part of the medical profession. They'll be going into the hospital and going into the clinics.
Donning their white coat and stethoscope, true symbols of medicine and hope, particularly medicine in Montana.
Montana has a shortage of physicians, and we have several counties in Montana that don't have a single physician. Montana has one of the oldest average age for physicians. So there's going to be a lot of physicians retiring soon.
The Association of American Medical Colleges back in 2019 reported that 35% of Montana physicians are 60 or older. And after talking with some of these students, many want to return to the Treasure State to practice.
Or this is the community that I know, the lifestyle that I know. But ultimately, this is home for me. This is where I feel like I belong, and why not help serve the community that I understand the most?
A stethoscope and a white coat is the beginning of their next chapter in their profession. And a student told me that they just achieved their dreams, and now they'll have to find another. In Bozeman, Jane McDonald, MTN News.
You may have already seen a new colored bus driving around Billings. Don't worry, they're still in the same Met Transit department. They're just brand new.
Getting these new buses on the street, just it puts, you know, not only are they a better looking vehicle, but they're a much more reliable vehicle now. They're a much more accessible vehicle due to the ramps instead of using lifts and so forth. So it just makes the transit system all that much more reliable for the city of Billings.
Rusty says because Billings is growing, Met Transit is doing their best to meet the need for more widespread, reliable public transportation. The new buses get double the fuel efficiency of the old ones, and Rusty says the cost they will save in fuel should help Met expand in the future.
Transit is sometimes the only option for people. We have a high number of individuals with disabilities that use our system, a high number of students that use our system, and they don't have any other option with how to get around. So providing that baseline of transportation service is very important to the community as well.
The new buses have built-in Wi-Fi, a 360-degree camera system for increased safety, and a digital fare system.
So passengers can buy their fares online. They can call over the phone, we'll mail them the card. They either end up with a smart card or they can actually use their phone to purchase passes and pay for those. Passengers can now get a card from us that they can actually take to any CVS pharmacy location in town and actually reload it there. So it's really opened up the convenience for individuals. If they do have that card or need to pay with cash, then they can go somewhere other than Met or City Hall in order to get that.
In all, there will be 17 new buses, and they hope to have them all running by Thanksgiving. In Billings, Brandon Warren, MTN News.
Burn the Point is now in its 20th year. These are posters of all the previous 19 years, but back this year, and this is Don Brokop's lunchroom at his car shop. Don died earlier this year at the age of 83, and the start of this year's Burn the Point will be a tribute to Don Brokop.
The black 57 was his pride and joy. He built that with a big block, and he'd do a 4-car, and he just had a ball. It was probably the first car that he built that he was so really proud of. We went to a lot of car shows, and they won a lot of stuff. Stuff that he enjoyed that he built for his family and the grandkids and stuff that meant a lot to him, and that's what they all are. They're going to have 4 cars lead the parade, and they're all his. It'll be his family and wife in those cars and a few friends to drive them both there. That's what starts the parade off tonight, as a tribute to Don, and it's a big deal.
Don Brokop burned the point during his high school years in the 1950s, as told by his friend Ron Duty.
It was right there in front of the Babcock, and you turned at where the roasters are at, and you went down the next block, and you kind of made like an 8, like a big circle around the 2 to 4 block area.
Ron and Don worked together on cars for many years and have burned the point since the early 2000s.
Don and I just loved having Burn the Point. The parade was probably the biggest thing that we've ever enjoyed. You get to see 500-600 cars and the people. It's fun to watch. It's a big deal. It meant a lot to him. You can't ask for a better friend than we had here. And he was really involved in the community, big time, done a lot for downtown Billings.
After 1 year off, the Burn the Point parade comes back for a 20th year on the normal parade route, starting on 3rd Avenue North and North 27th Street, turning at North 32nd, and back down 2nd Avenue North. It all starts at 6:30 tonight. In Billings, David J., MTN News.
Still to come on your MTN News tonight, bow hunting is around the corner and preparations are underway. We hear from an avid hunter, excited and ready to go.
The MTN 530 News continues right after this.